Channel 45, the channel which brings you the latest updates occurring throughout Washington, D.C.
But today we're taking you back in time to the 2008 election in order to discuss campaign spending. And then we will rewind even more in time to explain to you all why candidates and political committees are allowed to spend unlimited amounts of money.
And by campaign spending, we specifically will discuss it on behalf of the candidate or political committee, such as a political action committee or a super PAC.
And just to clarify, a PAC or political action committee is an officially registered fundraising organization that represents interest groups in the political process. The most important resource that PACs can provide is money to support or oppose candidates on one condition, which we will discuss later.
And during the 2008 election between Republican Senator John McCain and Democratic Senator Barack Obama, expenditures played a large role in their campaigns. According to OpenSecrets.org, PAC contributions and independent expenditures totaled $386,566,928 to Obama, while John McCain received a total of $164,612,054.
In addition to this large sum of money, the candidates themselves spent millions of their own dollars. And why were they allowed to do this, you think?
Actually, it was not allowed in 1971, according to the Federal Election Campaign Act, which placed many restrictions on campaign expenditures. But now this is all allowed under the court case ruling of Buckley versus Valeo of 1976.
But first, who exactly are Buckley and Valeo?
Senator James L. Buckley from the Conservative Party in New York questioned the act, and the case was ultimately brought to the Supreme Court. The defendant of the federal government in this case was Francis R. Valeo, Secretary of the U.S. Senate from New York and member of the Federal Election Commission. He wanted to uphold limits on campaign contributions.
Let's allow our viewers to get the inside scoop on this case directly from Alexander Yanis in Supreme Court in order to answer the following question that laid the foundation of this case. Did the limits placed on electoral expenditures by the Federal Election Campaign Act of 1971 violate the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and association clauses?
I will now take us back in time to the wake of the Watergate affair. Congress attempted to decrease corruption in political campaigns by restricting financial contributions to candidates, which we all know is called the Federal Election Campaign Act. Along with other things, the law limited the amount of money an individual could contribute to a single campaign and required reporting of contributions above a certain amount. The Federal Election Commission was created to enforce the act, but when Senator Buckley brought the issue of the act's constitutionality to court in 1976, this all changed. With 7 votes for Buckley and 1 vote against, the court found that governmental restriction of independent expenditures in campaigns, the limitation on expenditures by candidates from their own personal or family resources, and the limitation on total campaign expenditures did violate the freedom of speech aspect of the First Amendment. Considering money a form of speech, the court essentially ruled that candidates and political committees could spend unlimited amounts as long as the money was independent of the candidate's campaign because the practices did not enhance the potential for governmental corruption. Now back to Larry and Karen in the studio.
Thanks, Alexandra. We should all know the details of this case now, coming directly from the Supreme Court itself.
What a great day it has been. I hope all of you viewers enjoyed the segment of News Channel 45, Buckley vs. Valeo special. Be sure to join us next week for the full coverage of Dred Scott vs. Stanford.